Welcome to About the Winelands. In this show, we'll be chatting to leaders, influencers, wine producers, restaurants, winelands businesses, and other role players. Tune in every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday for our latest episodes. You will find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram TV, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Good day, everyone. Today I'm talking for the second time to Patrick Robertson of the Fishwives Club. Hi, Patrick, and welcome back to About the Winelands.
Hi, Will. Thank you very much for having me on again.
Well, it's interesting having you on. You know, you're the first person that I've actually interviewed for the second time. But for viewers who haven't heard your story, can you just give us a short summary of, what the Fishwives Club is and also how you started the company?
Well, those who are interested in this unusual story can read about it on the website. There's a story there. But to try and keep it as short as possible, my old life ended in 2012 in Johannesburg, where for almost 30 years I was in advertising, and I had built one or two agencies as well. And my life there and my whole career at my late sort of early 40s sort of came crashing down. And my business partner was also my life partner, and she was my MD of our agency. And so all the things that transpired meant that I literally, when that came crashing down, I was left with nothing, and I had to start again with nothing. And I knew that it was time to leave advertising. I'd done my time there, and I had no idea what to do. And it was a very scary moment, because you don't have anyone to turn to. You don't have a huge amount of money left, and you don't know what, where your next, how you're going to pay your rent next month. And to cut a long story short, I actually went to a psychic fair in Joburg before I'd come down, and I happened to go and see two psychics, one through crystals and stones and whatnot, and the other one red tarot cards. And both independently had mentioned that I would have a career in wine, and that it would become a sort of a global phenomenon. You know what? I'm only interested in drinking wine. I'm not interested in selling it. And I thought they were completely crazy. But that sort of came to pass, eerily enough. And in the long story short, I managed to get a start with a brand with a picture of a lady on a fish, and I was just driven, completely obsessed with knowing that this was something I needed to follow. And things fell into place, but it was a long ride. It was now going on 7 years of one person building a brand in an industry that's very, very competitive, and there's thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of wine brands globally. How do you stand out? And then how do you do it with one guy who doesn't know anything about the wine industry? It's crazy, but I've been blessed to even still be going, and I'm building slowly but surely. And now we export to 10 countries, and the brand is growing, and it's a very exciting time.
Wow, that's amazing, Patrick. Great story. So, I mean, you also have a lot of exciting new things happening at the moment, and one of the places where things are happening a lot is in Belgium. Can you tell us about how the Fishwives Club is growing in Belgium, and also, in other countries?
I was very fortunate in that I think a lot of the marketing I did for the brand online, it sort of landed up on Pinterest, and it landed up on YouTube, or it landed up just online, existing, some of the ads and campaigns that I'd done and put together. And my first international client was actually the Netherlands. My brand was seen on Pinterest by a very important buyer for a top importer in the Netherlands. And she got hold of me, and that's how the Netherlands started. Soon after that, Germany came across it, one of the importers in Germany. And as you know, the Netherlands also has Luxembourg and Belgium in it. It's not, so there's actually almost three countries in one. And I assume that they'd seen my brand at some restaurants and what have you in the Netherlands. And a Belgium importer called Kaapwijn de Leeuw, Peter de Leeuw, approached me at Cape Wine. I'd never been to any international shows. I didn't have any money to go. Only the real big players can go to these big shows. They're very expensive to attend. And so my only show that I'd ever been to in a wine show was Cape Wine, which is what happens every 3 or 4 years. And Lars Mark, who gave me my first opportunity to start, from Bacon Verwachting, said attend that one. It's the biggest international show you can go to as far as being local, not having to get on a plane. And that's where I met Kaapwijn. They came past my stand and loved the brand and had known about it. And he said, look, I definitely want to import your brand. And that was Peter de Leeuw. And that's how we got into Belgium. And Belgium has just rocketed. It's become the Netherlands and particularly Belgium now, it's become a bit of a cult brand there. It's really, really well known.
Well, it's interesting, you know. I've seen some of your guys that are selling the brand is in, you know, it seems to be like a summertime brand in the beach areas there of West End and those long Belgian beaches. Are there restaurants and stuff like that selling your brand, or how does it, you know, how is it actually selling?
My importer, Kaapwijn de Leeuw, have various sales channels and people that rep for them and work alongside them that bring the brand to the far reaches of Belgium. And one of them is the beach, the coastal side. And there's lots of seafood restaurants. The Netherlands and Belgium are very, very well known for their fresh seafood and all their different delectable seafood delicacies. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Fishwives Club has done so well there, is because it just has a natural affinity with seafood. It's fantastic with seafood. And obviously the picture and the name lends itself to that. And so the seafood restaurants, they quickly saw the opportunity here and to put forward the Fishwives Club to pair with their fish dishes. And I think that's a real positive energy that follows the brand.
So, Patrick, what is the demographic of your typical European customer? You know, what does he or she look like?
It's an interesting question, Will, because it's primarily a female brand. Women in particular have really, how can I put it, seen affinity with this brand. And it's got quite an uncouth name, the Fishwives Club. But the illustration of the lady on the fish is very glamorous and very beautiful and very detailed. And it's got a lot of beauty in it. And I think that the attention to detail, the copy on the back, that's really considered when you read it. The whole packaging of the brand and the wine itself seems to meet the taste profile that women enjoy. And that's really been mostly the market, and anywhere from the millennials all the way through to 40, 50 plus. That's the market is quite wide in that respect from an age group, demographic and target market. So definitely female, and definitely appeals to the millennials as well, which I think is very, very important in this day and age. Wine brands need to really be relevant, I think, and appeal to the younger market. The younger market is looking for something fresh and exciting, and the old family traditional wine making and 100-year-old vines and all that. They're lovely stories, but they're not appealing to you and the new generations of wine drinker. And I think we need to innovate, and we need to do fresh things, and we need to be exciting. And wine can be very, very exciting. It doesn't have to be conservative and boring. And I think that is why this brand is finding favor so quickly and growing quickly in the markets it goes into.
That's interesting. What is the price point of your wine? Where does it fall on the price scale?
In Europe, we're looking at anywhere between 8.58 and 8.95 euro a bottle. You can find it roughly around that price range online generally, and that seems to be pretty consistent throughout Europe.
So it's middle of the range, right?
Yeah, we like to call it entry-level boutique. So you get a real good quality wine without the big premium price tag, but it's not bag in a box. It's not a low-end wine at all. It's a handcrafted wine, but it's designed to be and blended and made to be accessible.
Oh, interesting. Patrick, also one of the things that you know is very interesting about your business is that you are actually assisting your distributors to actually sell the product. How do you do that?
What's important is to provide my importers with as much marketing material and as much assistance from that side as possible. And it's important that the brand communication remains consistent, no matter which market it goes into, no matter who's importing it. It needs to have a consistent look and feel and tone of voice and sense of humor, and that needs to be retained. And that's why I centralize all the communication and offer the brand extensions like T-shirts, like art posters of the brand for restaurant posters, outdoor signage, and all the marketing campaigns online that my clients and my importers can use. Just downloading from our unique toolbox, which we have. We offer all our importers a unique toolbox where they have a wealth of a treasure trove of marketing materials with which to just download at no extra cost to them and use in their markets and to use offer their clients. And what's important is that we also through social media target their buyers and highlight their buyers and make their buyers famous. So if you're buying the Fishwives Club and you're stocking the Fishwives Club, we're here to support you, and we want to put you in the spotlight as well as you and your business, so that you also gain market traction. So wherever the Fishwives Club goes, we also want to spread as much marketing for you as well as our brand.
Oh, that's awesome. I think that is quite unique as well, and that's great that you're doing that. So, Patrick, back to the in terms of your international reach, are you planning to grow in any other countries at the moment besides Europe?
Yes, we are. In fact, Europe is growing really nicely. We've now just recently started exporting to Canada. So the LCBO in Canada, over there, the government, it's pretty much like the Scandinavian countries, the government owns and distributes all the liquor. So they control that whole industry. So we're now imported into Canada, and we're being supplied throughout the LCBOs in Canada. And that's a really great start. And we're also looking very seriously at the United States. We think that this brand will do very, very well there. It's a tough market, but we've got a great brand. And there's the ultimate consumer. The ultimate consumer, we think, in the world is the American consumers. They understand branding and marketing and advertising, but they understand the value of a brand and something that looks great, something that lives up to its name and quality. And they're a tough consumer to entice, but once you have their loyalty, you have their loyalty. So the American market, although tough, is something we think the brand has a great opportunity in America. So we're really looking at spreading our wings in America. So that's what we're focusing on at the moment.
Oh, that's amazing. So also the other thing that's happened, obviously, with the whole lockdown and the coronavirus and everything, things have changed a lot. What is your thoughts on the local market? And are you planning to serve the local customers better? Are you planning any plans in the local market, in the South African market?
It's been certainly the whole pandemic has created a whole new set of challenges. And I think out of that, a whole new set of opportunities will arise. It's going to change the landscape and how things work, and how businesses are operated. Won't operate maybe the same way. They will have to change. And we are now seriously looking at South Africa as a market it's right on our doorstep. It's our home ground. But it's also been the most interesting market to get into, because it's also heavily contested by some of the really big names. So we've actually looked at the local market and said, well, look, given the opportunity, we've grown now. We think we should look at South Africa. And it sounds a bit back to front. You'd think we'd start here, make a success here, and then go overseas. But actually, it worked the other way around. We've become, very successful and demanded for a demanded brand in Europe, but here it's been very, very sparse on the ground. So we have looked at the local market, and at the moment we decided to look at it, we had the coronavirus, and so now we had to climb over that hurdle. But we will prevail, and we will be looking at a countrywide distribution and availability of the Fishwives Club brand in South Africa, and we are turning our attention to South Africa alongside looking at America.
Well, that's awesome and exciting for people here that want to get your brand. So you've had a bit of a headache with logistics after the lockdown. So can you tell us a little bit about that, and how are you progressing in actually getting your wine out to consumers?
Well, the lockdown has created obviously a massive backlog of stock that now needs to go back, get sent to the markets overseas. So wineries have been put under the cosh, so to speak. And now with the opening up again, they have to now get those orders out as much as possible. So there's a long queue and a pecking order in who gets what when. And so for us, our new vintages are ready. But again, we will only receive stock at the end of July, which is not great, because we went out with a big special, expecting the stock earlier, and we've had to apologize profusely to all our customers who have ordered, to say if they can hang on. Apologies for the delay, but it will be ready at the end of July. But at least we have a date now to aim at, and we can work around. We've got a date when we'll get all our stock, and we'll be able to start feeding the market. So you'll be able to get our wines through Take-A-Lot and through various distribution channels and restaurants and off sales in Joburg and in Cape Town. But that'll all start from July, as well as our new canning brand line. Our 250ml cans are absolutely gorgeous, absolutely stunning, and they'll be canned in the first week of August. So that's a new product range we're bringing out for convenience. Fantastic, because it's what I call the perfect pour. So it's just a bit more than a glass. It's great. It's a really great product.
So I'm going to ask you a little bit more about the cans in a minute. I just want to stick to the South African local market at the moment, because you have actually built this market overseas. I assume you haven't really built a network of distributors in South Africa. Is that something you would consider? And if a distributor is listening to this and they want to do business with you, should they give you a call?
Absolutely. I think that, in this business, it's a team effort. You don't succeed on your own. There's a route to market, and that route to market is very important. Who you work with, who you build long-term relationships with, particularly when it comes to distributors. That's a long-term relationship that can really yield fruit for both parties. So of course, we're looking for the right distributors. We have our first local distributor in Johannesburg, but of course, reaching everyone in the country, it's important that we have the right fit, the right partner that can offer us what they call walls and wheels, which is really no need to reinvent the wheel with the distributors. They know all about walls and wheels, but basically for those consumers out there who don't know what that is, it's really just warehousing and the delivery of the product to the stores and to the homes and the people ordering it. So we're looking for that kind of potential partner as well, and someone that can offer us a countrywide reach would be fantastic. We have a brand that we think will grow really, really well, and we have the track record to prove our growth.
Okay, that's awesome. So you've mentioned the wine in a can, and I mean, that's really exciting. So tell us about it. How did this idea come along, and what is wine in a can?
It's a disruptive product. The same way when screw caps came out, winemakers were like, no, we don't want screw caps. That's not how it's done. It's really cheapening my brand and what have you. But it turns out that screw cap provides a better containment than let's say cork does in normal closure. So it seems natural to me that cans is really the next evolution. It's not going to replace bottles. It's just going to be another way to enjoy wine that's convenient. It also offers infinitely recyclable packaging. Its carbon footprint is so much less. It's lighter to transport, which means it costs less and burns less fuel in order to get the product there because of its weight. It's something I was working on for about 2 years, trying to convince my winemaker that this is a good idea. And they all said, look, we've tried it, it didn't work. And I said, well, my experience in advertising has taught me that it's not about, the idea may be brilliant, but if the timing isn't right, then the idea is seemed to be dead in the water. And this is not really this is not really true. The truth of the matter is every idea needs its time, and it cannot be too soon and it cannot be too late. It needs to be just right. I think the time for cans right now is just right. In a disruptive time, in a time where we need to reinvent ourselves, reinvent our brands and products and how we satisfy the consumer, we need to be creative and we need to be innovative. And I think for me, the canned product is the right product at the right time.
Well, that's very exciting. When are these wine in a can product, when is it going to be launched?
We're launching in August. We are canning in the first week of August, and so I would say late August we should be ready to be able to start delivering and start supplying into the supply channels.
Okay, well, I've seen that you've got a giveaway promotion running on the cans. I think you're giving away a case of 24 cans of Sauvignon Blanc. Can you tell us a bit more about this?
Yeah, it's a great way to try our product and have 24 cans in your fridge. And it's also, it's just a nice way to try it without having to buy it. And it's something it's a nice giveaway because it's not like having to give away cases of wine. Because of, again, this product, the cost associated with shipping a case of wine versus cans is very different. And and you'll be the first to try this brand in a can, and I think that they'll become collector's items. As far as our first canning run, to have the first cans off the line. My suggestion is don't open them, just sign them and keep them as a keepsake. But yeah, that for us is going to be a wonderful opportunity, and I think it's a nice prize to offer our first Virgin brand canned wine product as a prize.
Oh, that's interesting. Patrick, now, I mean, this is all exciting and stuff like that, but your grand vision, what is your grand vision for the future of the Fishwives Club?
My goal, my secret vision and dream for this brand is to make it the most recognizable wine brand in the world. And the reason why I think it's not an unattainable goal and vision is the small wine created the champagne that became world famous, and then so did a few others in the locale of champagne. And there's so many wine brands, and so few people can remember any of them. And I think that one has to believe that you can achieve something, and I think that that goal is achievable with the right import partners, the right distributors, and the right partners on the team. I think that this brand can be one of the most recognizable wine brands in the world.
Wow, Patrick, that's awesome. All right. Thank you very, very much for coming and talking to us today. I think our listeners will find this very, very interesting, and I appreciate you taking the time. We'll put all the links to the can giveaway and to all the other stuff in the description below. And yeah, good luck with everything you're doing with the Fishwives Club. Thank you for supporting our show. If you would like to get more exposure for your business, please have a look at our sponsorship options. Thanks again for supporting About the Winelands. Please follow us on YouTube and on our social media channels. All details and links are in the description.